Hey guys, it's Nikki. This is Scratching the Dirt, and this is the Carnivore vlog. Today is Wednesday, October 15th, and today is day 54 of Carnivore for me. I am, to be perfectly honest, I don't even really know what I want to talk about today. I think there's just, I've had life things going on a little bit, and so carnivore hasn't been like the one thing I think about. It's actually one of the things that I really like about carnivore. Like I was thinking about it earlier today about how, and I've mentioned it before, how food used to be such a huge consumer of my thought energy and my energy. You know, always worried about if I had snacks or if I've packed enough lunch and what I'm going to take for lunch and da 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 da, and what's for dinner and on and on and on. And now um, and I started thinking about this because I am failing at trying to feed myself more. I had talked about it last time about how that was one of the steps I was going to take, where I was going to try to add a second meal. I haven't done that. I can't. Like, I'm not hungry. I'm not thinking about food except for my one time a day. And so, you know, while I wanted to do that, and I thought it might be a solution to the weight plateau, which I want to add a little screenshot here to show you how long it's been that I've been at this little same thing with the weight. You know, so be it. Like, I can't, I currently cannot, I don't have the bandwidth to worry that much about whether or not I'm force feeding myself extra food. I'm not hungry. That's all I can really, that's all I can go on right now. And if I'm not hungry, I'm not going to try to shove food down my face. I've eaten food for all the wrong reasons for far too long in my life. And I'm just not going to do it. And that kind of brings me to what I then started thinking about. I started thinking about today about how, you know, on social media and YouTube, and there's lots of experts out there, and then there's lots of pseudo experts out there, and then there's a whole lot of people like me that just share what, you know, their personal experiences. And I want to be really clear and make sure you guys know, if you're following along to see what happens with me, I want you to know that I'm not trying to give guidance or advice in any way, shape, or form. Because, and here's why. I think that when people come across as authoritative, you have to do this in order to be healthy, it's falling a little flat for me nowadays. I used to have a tremendous amount of respect for the medical community, for doctors, and for things like that. But as I've gotten older and as I've been through more health things, I find the desire to immediately prescribe a prescription pill to be off-putting. And so that's why I've learned in the last couple of years to listen a little more to myself and my own body. Now, I know there are very different opinions on this. And it's not that I wouldn't listen to a doctor's advice, because I do take high blood pressure medication, because I do know what it feels like when your blood pressure is 260 over 160 and they won't send you home from the emergency clinic because your blood pressure is too high. I've been there. I've done it. And I don't want to feel like that ever again. So until my blood pressure can be managed only with diet, exercise, and lifestyle, then I will continue to take my medication. However, I do think that there are a lot of things that can be managed. I don't want to say cured, because that feels like I don't have the right to make that stretch, but I think there are a lot of health issues that can be managed and addressed through food and lifestyle. So that's what I'm doing. That's all I'm doing here, is I'm trying to address the imbalance I've felt in my own personal body with a way that I think will benefit me and my body's needs. So I know I've mentioned it before. Like obviously I try really hard to listen to my body, and I also listen to everyone's comments, and I appreciate the comments because oftentimes it's things I hadn't thought of, and I don't have a problem experimenting. But it, when I was thinking about this, the way carnivore and even other diets, any kind of eating plan or whatever, the way I see them being represented on social media, in the news and things like that, is very much you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, and not many people leave room for, but what's best for you, what's best for the individual. And so these people that I'm seeing, and I'm trying to be much more selective about what I watch and what I listen to. It reminded me of this. As a teenager, I started smoking cigarettes, and then I smoked for years and years and years. I don't currently smoke, but I remember anytime I knew someone that quit smoking, and you were around them and you lit up a cigarette, first thing out of their mouth, those things are going to kill you. Those things are going to kill you. You really should stop. You really should quit. Look, mofo, 3 days ago, you were doing the exact same thing. And while I'm very happy for anybody that makes positive changes in their life, there's this thing. And if you've ever experienced something like this, like maybe you shouldn't eat that cake, or, if you just studied a little harder, that's just people who become holier than thou when they do one positive thing. It's not what I'm here for. I'm not here for it. I've been on the wrong end of that way, 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 way too many times. Because here's what I know for a fact, and I probably learned this for the first time ever definitively from my mother after years of lectures from my mom about smoking. Years of a normal conversation turning to me getting scolded because I'm still smoking cigarettes. She finally one day said to me, I want you to stop smoking cigarettes, and this is the last time I'm going to say it to you. You know how I feel. It's not doing any good to tell you about it, and so I'm going to leave it be. And thank you, because the truth is, people aren't going to do what they don't want to do. It doesn't matter if it's good for them or bad for them. They're not going to do what they're not capable of yet. I truly believe people do the best they can with what they have at the time. And for some people, cigarettes are what they have. For some people, sleeping half the day is what they have. For some people, eating enchiladas en masse is what they have. I don't condone it or not condone it. I think that we all do the best we can where we're at with what we've got at the time. I think that it's always been my goal to add skills and knowledge to my life so that I can do better, but I don't expect that from anyone else. I think everybody's doing the best they can. And so, and if you're not doing the best you can, then that's a conversation you need to have with yourself. That has nothing to do with me. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and show you the grace. So when it comes to the carnivore, I'm not here to preach to you. I'm not here to make you feel like if you don't do this, you're going to be unhealthy, because I don't know that. I don't know if you're going to be unhealthy or not. I don't know if this is the healthiest way I could live my life. I don't know. Maybe I could eat better on a different diet. I don't know. But again, I'm willing to add the skills and the knowledge and do the experiments to see what happens. Now, my actual health benefits have been tangible. Well, tangible is not the word, but appreciable. I can see them. I haven't had a headache in like 50 days when I used to have them all the time. I've talked about it before. My teeth feel cleaner. I don't have as much mucus in my throat. I had to buy new jeans, right? I have gotten smaller. I have lost weight. There are lots and lots of, my energy is insane. So compared to how it was. So for me, this is working. if you try it or don't try it or whatever, and I hope the best for you, whatever you decide to do, however you decide to do it. I think that part of this also comes from the fact that I may have bombarded my brain with too many different the cheese or no cheese, the extra fat or the no extra fat, like I think I just got myself in a bit of a like deer in headlights situation in the past week or two, and at this moment, it started me thinking. I know this is going kind of long, but if you're here with me, I do appreciate you. I do appreciate all of the comments because, like I said, sometimes it's things I haven't thought of. But I'm kind of learning on day 54 here that there are going to be times when there really aren't any updates, right? Like my weight's not moving. I'm not eating cheese anymore. I stopped eating bacon. And I still, here's a weird thing. So in the last couple of days, the bacon effect has happened without bacon. So do I even know for real that bacon was what was causing me to have to run to the bathroom? Well, maybe, because it did stop. But I think oftentimes too, I put so much pressure on the food and the diet, and I forget that I have emotional struggles, and I have, a whole new work situation going on, and I have a different schedule. Like there's life is happening too. And I truly believe that those things can affect our systems in our body. And so maybe that's what's going on right now with me. I don't know. I don't know. What I know for sure is that carnivore is working for me for what I want it to do. I know that I am I have more stamina, I have more energy, and I'm getting more done than I ever did before. I know that I don't have headaches. I know that I have these small little victories that have led me to the decision to keep going every single day. I love the fact that I don't have to think about food except for once a day. For me, this has been a really, really good experiment or change. It's been really good for me, and I'm sticking to it. And I still want to hear ideas and comments. And, maybe there are things that I haven't thought of. Is the weight plateauing? When I was, I cracked myself up because I'm like, whoa, slow down. Well, it slowed down. And now I'm like, hello, come on, what's happening? So, look, I'm a human and I'm trying the best I can. I'm doing the best I can with what I have at this time. And what I have right now is faith that the carnivore is helping me achieve a healthier body. And so I'm going to stick with that. You guys let me know what you think. Let me know what you've experienced. I'm curious to know if anyone has, because of this eating plan, gone down this little rabbit hole that, like I did, where I just started thinking about all these different things. And I think social media, I'm becoming more and more aware of what I'm consuming as far as media is concerned. And I just need to protect my spirit. And so I'm not really interested in people who are telling me from no position of authority on my body what I should do definitively. And so I'm certainly not going to take a position of authority over your body and tell you what you should do. But if you are on this journey and you are learning from me or with me or want to teach me something, then I would love to share that with you. That's, I guess, the point, is that I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I would love to walk alongside you on it and learn from you. So that's going to be it. I know I went a little long today, but sometimes it be like that when my brain just starts going. Y'all, this is all the time. All the time, my brain's doing this stuff. But I hope you guys have a great I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And I will see you in a few days. You guys enjoy the carnivore or not, or whatever you're doing. And I'll see you soon. Thanks for being here. Bye.